Lesson plan, group 2.
Lesson plan.
Start as soon as you're ready. Go, may start.
Good afternoon to each and everyone. Before we start our class session for today, let's all please stand up and I'm going to ask Amanda, can you please lead the prayer for today's afternoon?
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. Help us to understand our lesson and guide everyone. Please continue.
Okay. You may all please now take your seat. Good afternoon to each and everyone.
Good afternoon, teachers.
Looks like my dear students haven't eaten their lunch yet. Again, good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, teachers.
That's more like it.
Okay, before we start for today's activity, let us go towards our classroom rules. Please read them all together.
1, 2, 3, go.
Come prepared. Listen attentively. Act responsibly. Speak respectfully. Stay on task. Very good, class. Now let's remember and follow these rules. All right, class? Now we have here an incentive chart. If you participate and behave well during class discussion, you and your group will earn a star. So I want everyone to remain seated and behave properly. Okay? And if you want to talk, you can always raise your hand. And if someone is talking, I want everyone to listen to him. All right, class? Yes, dear.
Okay, so as you have noticed, our incentive chart is divided into two. We have group 1 and we have group 2 with the list of your names. This row will be group 1. This will play an important role for the activity later on. This group will be group 2. Okay? So if you want to answer, share your ideas, share your observations, raise your hand, and you will earn a star for the group and for yourself. Okay? Are you ready to start today's session?
Yes.
So before we start, I will check the attendance first. If I call out your name, please say present, okay? Adaro Mikhaila, Balneg Ali, Casamayor, Damian, Carbino, Garcia, Medina, Page, Rondina, and Santiago. Okay, very good. Everybody is present for today's class session. So now to start our discussion, I want you guys to recall on some previous knowledge that you may or may not still remember. How about I'll start with the question, what is the main source of energy on Earth? Yes, Rian?
Sun.
Very good. Let's go. Give points to Rian. The main source of energy on Earth is the sun. Very good. Now, next question. What do you call the movement of the Earth spin? What do you call the spinning of the Earth? Yes, Louis? Revolution? I think I'm looking for a different term. Yes, Benina. Rotation. Very good. The movement of the Earth's spin is called the rotation. Now, how about the last question? What do you call the movement of the Earth around the sun? Yes, Alliance? Yes, Garcia? It's revolution. Very good. The movement of the Earth around the sun is called the revolution. Okay, it looks like everybody can still recall their previous topics. Let's now proceed to the next portion of our lesson.
Now, I want you to watch this short video. While watching, I want everyone to observe carefully and think about what is happening in the video. Now, what did you observe in the video? Yes, Carbino?
The transition of winter, spring, summer, and to autumn, and maybe cycle.
Okay, very good. How about another one?
Any more ideas besides that? Yes, sis? Okay, very good. How about the next question, Mrs. Nam, is?
Now, what differences did you notice in each season? Anyone in the class? Axel?
In the initial season, which is very cold, I noticed that there were no leaves and trees. But as that season changed, trees and even leaves started to grow.
That is a great answer. Those thoughts and ideas will help us or might help you for today's class discussion.
Okay, I want to focus on the idea of Axel. Sabi ni Axel kanina na in winter, there are areas that are experiencing cold. Paano pag summer, they're experiencing, especially ano may feel nila. Heat, they're going to feel heat. So I want you guys to focus on that idea. That some places on the earth are going to experience different weather, different climate, different seasons, while others will going to experience different ones. So now let's proceed to the next portion of our session. I want you guys to look at what's in front. I'm sorry if it's too bright. Any idea as to what can you see here in front? Yes, Rachel? Any idea? What can you see here in front?
Some part of the globe was very bright and some snow or little light.
Okay. So I think I'm going to focus on the data that globe. I'm going to focus that from shell to window. Ano ba ang nakikita na sa harapan? Yes, Medina?
So I can see the light bulb. The light bulb light represents the sun.
Okay. The light bulb in front represents the sun. I like that observation. So, as you may have noticed, what's in front is what we call a model. We can have a globe that represents what? Anyone guess, Priya?
The globe represents the earth.
The globe represents the earth, obviously. Well, Medina mentioned earlier that the light bulb represents the sun. This model is going to play a vital role for the next session because we're going to have an activity. Well, you, with your groups, are going to have access to this model. You are going to have the chance to manipulate this model, to move the model, whatever you want. Kasi you're going to write observations based on situations that I want you guys to take note of. So please, Miss Isna, can you distribute the activity sheet?
So I will be distributing this activity sheet that will guide you guys throughout the activity.
Group 1 and group 2. So okay, I want you guys to look at the procedure. Let's all read together the procedure starting with procedure 1. 1, 2, 3, go!
Each group is given access to the Earth's orbit model.
Okay, next.
Position the Earth model correctly. Rotate and revolve the Earth around the light source.
Okay.
Observe carefully how sunlight hits different parts of the Earth during the movement.
Okay.
Identify which areas receive more direct sunlight and which receive less as it rotates and revolves. Record your observations in the activity sheet provided. Discuss your answers with your groupmates and share initial ideas for the given guide questions together. Share and present your answers and observations in class.
Okay. Is that there all the procedure? Okay. So after knowing what you're going to do, what you read on the procedure, you will be given 3 minutes to conduct that activity. Write your observations, then after, share your initial ideas from the given questions given on those activity sheets. Okay? So every group, each group, all, you're going to have 3 minutes to go here in front, share the time, manipulate based on what behavior or situation is being asked there. I think number one behavior or situation.
Earth will rotate when you respond.
Okay, Earth related respond. Next.
Earth revolve around the light.
Okay, next.
Earth tilted toward the light.
And then lastly.
Earth tilted away from the light
Okay.
source.
So you will be given 3 minutes to write your observations based habang ginagawa niyo yung behavior and situations then. Okay? 3 minutes starts now. Don't forget to write your observations in the activity sheet, okay? the answers are or initial ideas for the given questions below? One minute left. Twenty seconds.
Tawagin mo sila laro.
Okay, that is all. Let's go to the second.
Okay, time is up now.
Let's hear your answers. Starting off, group 1.
Okay, at group 1, did you already finish writing your observations? Just the observations. Okay, group 2, how about group 2? Okay, let's start with group 1. In group 1, please share their observations, read them aloud.
So from the first equation, which is Earth-related or span, we have observed that the Earth rotates on its own axis and the position of sunlight changes. So for the next equation, we have observed that some parts of the Earth receives more light or more sunlight, while other parts receives less. And for the next equation, we have observed that the Earth receives more direct and intense light or sunlight, while for the last equation, the Earth tilted away from the light source. So we have observed that some parts or areas are receives clearer light and less intense light. Wow, good job, Group 1. Let's give Group 1 a good job clap.
1, 2, 3, go!
G-O-D-J-O-D, good job. Good job. G-O-D-J-O-D, good job. Good job. Now, let's go towards the next group, the Group 2. Okay, so as for our observation, we observe that the Earth rotates on its own axis or the globe, and some parts of the globe does not receive equal sunlight. When the Earth or the globe revolves around the land, we observe that there's an uneven distribution of light. And for the next one, when the Earth tilted toward the land, we observe that the light becomes brighter because the light hits. There are some places that the light hits more directly and it is brighter than the farther side. And for the next one, when the Earth is tilted away from the light source, the light becomes less brighter because it doesn't hit directly from some places. Okay, that is great, Group 2. Let's give Group 2 a nice clap. N-I-C-E, N-I-C-E, nice, 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 nice. Great observation, class.
Okay, so as you may have noticed, below your observations, I like everyone's observations by the way. Below the observations, there are questions that are related to the performed activity below. Am I correct? So the activity that you perform, you have questions below. I would like everyone to give me their initial ideas. What do you think the correct answers are for those questions? How about I'll start start with the first question is which part of the earth receives more direct sunlight and which part receives less sunlight? Yes, Adelie.
Based on my observation, places that are near the equator or in the equator receives the direct sunlight. So therefore, they are warm because the sun directly hits that places. While on the other hand, for those places sa taas and bawang part, which are the polar regions, the light are not directly, or the light is angled and it is not directly hit on the places. So the places on that area experience cold.
Okay. So what I like about Emily's idea was she mentioned that some areas, like she mentioned equator. The equator receives more sunlight down compared to the polar regions. Any other idea? Any more observations? What do you think on the surface of the earth receives more sunlight and lesser sunlight? Yes, yes?
So, as Annalie explained, that equator receives more sunlight because the sunlight is more direct, while at the end of the globe, or the north and south pole, it receives less sunlight because the sunlight is more angled and the sunlight will be spread out. So, the places on the end of the globe receives it does not have too hot temperatures.
Hey, I like your ideas. They specifically mentioned that some areas receive more direct sunlight while other areas receive lesser sunlight. Okay? But how about, or what can you notice with the distribution of the sunlight on the surface of the earth or on earth? Yes, Chloe? So answer niya is because daw some areas are more spread out, some areas receives more. Therefore, we can conclude that the distribution of the sunlight on the Earth's surface is, yes, Alex?
So the distribution of the sunlight on Earth is not equal or uneven.
Yes, it's not equal or unevenly distributed. Meaning, the sunlight on areas, some areas receives more, some areas receives less. Okay? Therefore, we can conclude that the sunlight hits Earth with uneven distribution. How about next question? What happens of the intensity of the sunlight if the Earth is tilted towards the light? And how about if it's tilted away from the light? Any ideas? Yes, Amanda?
So I have observed that the intensity of the sunlight depends on the tilt of the Earth. So if it is, or if the Earth is tilted toward the sun, the light that it receives is more directed, more bright or intense, while the distribution is like directed and not scattered. While the intensity of the sunlight, if it is tilted away from the sun, it receives less and not very strong.
Okay, like that answer. So therefore, we can connect the two ideas. Sabi kanina, sunlight is unevenly distributed on the Earth. And that's because of the Earth's tilt. The Earth is tilted. Unlike what we previously or any mga misconception, the Earth spins like this. No. The Earth spins at an angle. This causes different seasons, different areas of the Earth experiencing colder weather, warmer weather, and etc. Now, why does the intensity of the light affects because nakatilt ang Earth? Bakit? Bakit dahil sa tilt ng Earth, iba yung intensity ng light ng ibang area ng Sun and ng Earth? And bakit yung iba kapag nakatilt outside, iba din yung intensity ng Sun intensity? Yes, Louis?
So when it is tilted towards the sun, it effect
it's tilted away from the sun, it is much colder.
Okay. Sabi niya, it's because of the tilt. Some areas will have lesser exposure to the sun, while directly exposed will have more exposure to the sun. Does anyone here have any idea how much is the earth tilted? Yes, Rian? 23.5 degrees is the earth's tilt. Very good. 23.5 degrees. Now, I want you guys to listen carefully. Areas of the earth that is directly hitted, like dito, there are areas that are more hitted by the sunlight, like this one. This, siguro sa angle ng camera, but this is what we call the subsolar point, kung saan the sunlight is directly hitted above, meaning the sun is directly above them at a 90-degree angle. So, ang tawag natin dito is the subsolar point. While the area or the orbit kung saan ang Earth is maximally tilted away or tilted towards the sun is what we call the solstice. So this area is what we call the solstice of December. Kasi Earth is maximally tilted away or nakatilt siya away. Pero 6 months later, on the June solstice, the Earth is now tilted towards the sun na siya at maximum tilted towards the sun. Now what we can notice is during these different times of the year, and we mentioned ito mga months dito different times of the year, some areas o iba-ibang areas ang natamaan ng sun. This time of the year, kung saan ang Earth is ang sun is directly hitting the Tropic of Capricorn. We have different lines, or we have imaginary lines sa Earth. We have the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Equator, and the Tropic of Capricorn. Kung saan dito, on this area, samaan ng Tropic of Capricorn, right? But 6 months later, what can you notice? Iba na naman. Iba na naman yung samaan ng sun. Anong Tropic of what naman? Yes, Axel?
Kasi based po na Tropic of Cancer.
It's a Tropic of Cancer na naman. Meaning, on this area, sila naman yung tatamaan ng sun. On dito, it's the Tropic of Capricorn. Pero how about dito? Bakit dito ilagay?
After this year, possible. We will resume next meeting.
Nice.
That particular part continue so that you'll have time to fix while the habitat is waiting. So, it is not finished, but we will continue. First group 3. We're not yet. Talent planning. We may have it online. Thursday na pala kayo. Group 4, sino yun? Check ko na yung mga lesson plans. So, hindi ko lang mga sabihin sa lang tayo. Last day na 4. I need to prepare for that. So, we'll have it checking 3 and 4 online. Okay, this week, updated. But before that, to continue in group 2, where we stop this, we will continue next meeting. Okay, until I'm ready to start. Just like that. Okay? So, luck. Luhan,
Ikot, ikot, ikot. May next mo, set mo.
Superman clap.
Thank you.
Most likely,
Actually,
birthday ka ever.
Hindi talaga.
Alam mo, ganda.
Gusto na ba, George?
Sa light at sa left.
Ganyan ba mukha ko?
Sa light yan.
Oo, hindi ganyan mukha mo ha.
Sa light yan.
Hello.